Namaste and hello there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising signs. Welcome to this video, which is your free January 2019 reading with me. So we made it to 2019. Hooray! This year is predominantly a year where Jupiter is back home in Sagittarius, your sign. And so, not to put any pressure on you, Sag, but we're all hoping that that brings us relief. Okay, so I have 5 different decks I'm using with this reading. This is a reading that is quite a bit longer than what's typical. Oops. Because I'm going to do a look at 2018 in general and do a retrospect look. This is going to be, what does Spirit want us to know? What does your higher self and your guides want you to know about 2018 now that we're finishing it up, if you're watching this in December, or that it's been completed and we've moved into 2019. I'm also going to do a look at 2019 in general, pull some cards for that, and get some theme energies for 2019 before I get into the focused in look at January. In January, for January, I'm going to do a week by week using the Zodiac Oracle, the color cards, the secret language of color cards, the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards as well. And we're going to do one color card for January as like a highlighted message from Spirit as well. So I hope you enjoy this reading. I hope you are open and intuitively open and receptive to the messages, so you can really get the most out of this reading. So per request, I'm using the Wisdom of Trees Oracle deck within this reading, as well as the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. I'm going to do one card from each of these decks for the year looks, 2018 and 2019. If you are interested in getting the extended version for January for your sign, that is available. There's some information posted about that separately. I do think that is well worth the price. I'm really using the numbers and numerology here to kind of communicate with Spirit, so I'm making them $12 because it's going to be it's going to be a year where it's a 3 universal year. The 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. So that's how I set the price for these. But it's actually worth, as far as time and energy and resources and such go, more money. So you're getting a bit of a bargain deal there. But I really do like connecting with Spirit through the numbers, and wanted to, reward you guys for being awesome and give you a bit of a break there. So you can also listen for your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising with these free videos and with the extended videos. At the moment, I have been working within the Yuletide event. If you're watching this in December or even very early January, please feel free to stop in there and take a look. If you are not, if you did not hit the going button or get the link for that Yuletide event, it may not be too late to come in and check out the menu, the readings menu, with the list of holiday readings, and there are also some New Year readings on there, and the products being sold or up for offer. I haven't sold anything yet, but up for offer within that event, and I'm hoping to start focusing on creating more total year readings, because that's what a lot of people like to do with New Year's. So that's what's going on with me. Let's see what's going on with you. You have Tiger's Eye and Ginkgo inverse coming up for 2018 when we look at that in retrospect. Both of these decks are decks that I like to use the book with, so I'll be opening the booklet and reading out of there for them. But I'm also going to pull your color cards and your zodiac cards. So here's the ginkgo right side up. This instinctually makes me think you may have been forgetting something, Sag, or you may have been blocking some memories, maybe some painful memories in 2018. But, like I said, we're going to consult the book and get some other cards on the table as well. Oops. Leo and Uranus reversed. And turquoise, awaken your empathy. All right, so right off the bat, we have Leo, which is the 5th house, and it is also, it's the house of children and your inner child, children. And you have turquoise here, awaken your empathy. So I think some of you may have been called on, or there's a lesson here, or something maybe you hadn't realized that Spirit now wants to draw to your attention about 2018, saying like, hey, maybe purpose of this, why am I suffering, why am I struggling, what's the higher purpose of these lessons or what I'm going through. Spirit's coming through, answering you, saying, hey, I needed and wanted you to, in relation to children or your own inner child. Okay. That may not be the case for you, but that is one of the ways that these cards can relate to each other, and that message did arise for me. Another thing, Uranus and Leo. Uranus coming up reverse kind of is interesting and challenging to read, because Uranus and Aquarius are sort of the weirdos of the zodiac, the rebels and the weirdos of the zodiac, and as so, I kind of feel like they come up reverse, meaning when they come up reverse, they're actually to be read direct. I feel that way sometimes, because they're just kind of like, hey, look at me, I stand out, I'm not like you, I'm opposite, right? Uranus is all about, it's about humanitarian efforts and projects, but it's also about shakeups and surprises, for good or for bad. So sometimes it's shocking stuff that catches us off guard. Whether you were feeling like you didn't have enough spontaneity in your life in 2018 and feeling sort of restrained, restricted, like there was, again, not enough spontaneity in your with your 5th house, having to do with creativity and play and fun and pleasure, or whether you were having a lot of surprises and things occur with this 5th house. I'm not sure. It could have gone both ways, even a little bit of both. As strange as that sounds, to me it doesn't sound strange, because I have heavy scorpionic influences, and sometimes to me I'm like, more sudden change, how boring. I keep going through this. It's exhausting, it's boring. I just want to be in a different energy, authentic energy, being who I am, creating things, and obviously enjoying life and having love in my life. So for some of you, you may have had a lot of curveballs thrown at you that sort of blocked your pleasure, blocked your joy, your fun, creativity, and so forth. For some of you, you might have felt like it was kind of dull. Is that possible with as much, scorpionic energy as we had? I don't know. But the cards indicate it could have been, right? Turquoise is a very powerful, interesting energy, because it's a color of both earth and sky, and it's the blending of earth and sky and the harmonizing of earth and sky. When you put them together, heaven and earth and sky, mind and matter. it is also, a calming energy, but it is an energy I feel that really does help us connect in with our throat chakra and our third eye chakra, being able to communicate deeper truths, being able to communicate again like our worldly needs and spiritual needs and have them harmonizing. So also awakening your empathy is an important part of that. It's key. And so some of the challenges, restrictions, and so forth that may have been brought to you in 2019 18, or you may have attracted, had the higher purpose and intention of helping you develop and strengthen character in regards to developing and strengthening your empathy. Let's take a look at Tiger's Eye and Ginkgo. We're going to start with Tiger's Eye. I opened right to it, which is pretty cool. Is that a sign? I'm not sure. Yes, it is. Empowerment is the key word with Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye symbolizes prosperity and encourages right use of power. It balances your needs with those of others, finding solutions. So again, another reason why having empathy is important. You can balance your needs and other people's needs. Self-understanding says a child of the sun and earth with untold powers. Very cool, because Leo's ruling planet is the sun. So a child of the sun and earth with untold powers. You make your own fate. Assert yourself wisely. Bring hidden talents to the fore and accept aggressiveness or becoming spaced out. Scorpio is a very, I'm not talking about people when I say this, but the energy of the 8th house and the scorpionic energy is an energy of obsession sometimes. Like obsession falls in that house and under that sign. So we had a very heavy scorpionic energy, as you may or may not know, with 2018. Not only was your ruling planet Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio for 2018, most of it, it likes to stay in a sign for about a year usually when it's not retrograding. But also we had Mercury and Venus do a retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, which extended their stay in Scorpio. So we had quite a lot of Scorpio energy to battle with, integrate, experience, and so forth. So it says, ground yourself, Tiger's Eye. We're back to that. Ground yourself. Explore your past lives to discover causes of these traits. Deal sensibly with day-to-day reality and face challenges boldly. So yeah, this is really stuff that your spirit guides were trying to get you to, they were like gems in this scorpionic, I don't want to call it a pond because that sounds shallow, and Scorpio is the sign of, still waters running deep. But like this deep pond, it's really like a gem. These things are like gems that your spirit guides are trying to get you to pull out of those scorpionic waters and take forward in life. Exploring your past lives to discover causes of these traits. Scorpio is a great time to do past life work and life work that involves the past and altering your perception of the past in order to alter your experience of the present and future reality. So it's a sister sign to Cancer. Cancer is, nostalgia and so forth. Scorpio is life, death, and rebirth cycle. So it's, past, present, future. It is the sign that holds the Trinities, or the Trinity. It also says deal sensibly with day-to-day reality and face challenges boldly. That Scorpio energy is about becoming prepared and able to face challenges boldly, I believe, sometimes as well. The healing insight with this crystal is doing what gives you joy increases your well-being, and that may have been very challenging like I mentioned earlier, in 2018. Uranus reverse next to that 5th house. That may have been very challenging, more challenging than usual. Divination says unlock your creativity, find prosperity and lasting success. Long journeys and celebrations lie ahead. Your personal power, calm, energy are high, use them wisely. Commit to goals. Distinguish between wishful thinking and what you really need. Assist friends to gain their heart's desire. Past lives throw light on current situations. So there's really a lot that comes up with this crystal. We have also ginkgo. So let's see if I can find my booklet. There we go for ginkgo. And it's coming up in verse. It says, memories can be very valuable, but they can also prevent us from embracing the present. Is there something you simply can't forget or forgive? Instead of holding on to these feelings, perhaps the time has come to let them go. So much with the past. So whether Spirit is talking to you about dropping 2018 baggage and leaving it in 2018, and or Spirit is talking to about 2018 having a big theme around this, around past life. I keep saying past life, but I mean the past in this life for most of you, though some of you might be dealing with past life stuff. Putting our past in its proper perspective and working with it in a healthy way to heal, right? There was a lot of, I think, prep work for you in 2018, preparing for Jupiter to come home to your sign, Sagittarius. You know, Jupiter is about liberation. It's about spiritual truth. It's about free-spiritedness, feeling free. It is about adventure and journey and, good luck and benevolence and prosperity and all of these wonderful things. In order to make the most out of 2019 and Jupiter stay in your sign, I feel like Spirit is guiding you, if you have not already done so, or letting you know in 2018 some of this stuff that you went through was about putting the past in its proper perspective so you are not weighed down and burdened with it moving forward. It was about setting the foundation for a fresh new cycle, Jupiter entering your sign, for lightening of the baggage that you've chosen to carry forward through, resentments and negative attachments to the past, and transmuting them. Okay? Now in 2018, you have an amethyst. All right, so here's the thing with this crystal deck. I like it. I do. But she did not give me the pronunciations of these crystals, and there are so many of them I cannot even begin to try to pronounce. So perhaps you can see the word if you want to look it up. We have this lovely amethyst, and we have Balboa inversed. Here's the Balboa tree. It's coming up reversed or inversed. And now I want to get your other cards on the table and take a gander in the book. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Sun and Rising for 2019, please. General theme, information, and messages. Sun reversed, Taurus, second house, okay? Is somebody like ciphering your energy? What is going on here? Why do we have the sun reversed? We've got the second house. Some of you may be feeling a little bit limited. Is that possible? Limited? Let's see. What do we have for a color card? Enjoy clear hearing, mauve. Mystery continues. I guess I'm going to look in the book and read for the crystal card and the tree card first. We have number 38, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's interesting because I'm looking at the numerology of this. This crystal, for some reason, is labeled 38. So when we add 3 and 8 together, we get 11. And 2018 was an 11 universal year. Okay, 2019 is a 3 universal year. So actually, 2018 has been a 2 and 11 universal year. But 2019 is a 3 universal year, and this vibrates at a quite different frequency. And I think there is a message here about, your third eye, about your spiritual empowerment and transmuting, transforming, and upgrading and evolving from that energy of 2018, right? Listening to your higher self and getting clear messages from within and from spirit. So we have mauve, enjoy clear hearing here as well. So let's see. The key phrase here is the perfect blueprint. Alright, so this amethyst is a master healer. It holds the perfect blueprint of your soul and all that is. It heals physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, karmic, planetary, and ancestral auric layers, and imprints the most perfect energetic pattern possible. Healing insight is you are perfect exactly the way you are. There is a level here of self-acceptance. The sun is coming up reverse, showing a blockage with your inner lights and your personality, and feeling good about being yourself and getting out and about, and allowing your energy to radiate, sharing what you have to give with the world and feeling good about it, feeling well received. There's some sort of blockage here with the sun reversed. So I don't think that I think you are empowered. Okay, these cards they don't have power over you. This isn't dooming you to a year of having that energy blocked. No, Spirit's bringing it up because this can be a year where you remove any blockages or imbalances to this energy and really start feeling okay, being your authentic self again, okay, shining and getting out and about and like being who you are and feeling well received in the world again, feeling safe to do that. Self-understanding says you are a being of pure consciousness and are wonderful just the way you are. Embrace the clarity of your core being. Let go of mental constructs, karmic imprints, soul imperatives, and relationships that no longer serve. Heal the past. Reframe previous choices that you have made in your life and take a new pathway to step into your soul purpose and expand higher dimensions of your soul. I think 2019 is definitely a very fresh energy, a very fresh year for you. There's a lot of different things. And a lot of 2018's energies get to be left in 2018 and will fade and be released. But one thing that seems to be carrying over from 2018 into 2019 is this empowering technique and ability to transform the past in a way, because when you transform your perspective to the past and your emotional patterns in relation to the past and thinking patterns in relation to the past, you're doing some major like transformational rerouting work. It's like transplanting a young plant, okay, into a healthier environment is what I'm seeing here with this for you. Okay, so the divination, you are perfect exactly as you are in the present moment. Step onto your soul path and seed your future with potential. Self-discipline and clear focus bring your dreams to fruition. Aim for the highest. So we have a lot of planets like lining up at the starting line. Really, they're lining up. It's not like the race is about to start, but they're moving into their home signs. Or are already in their home signs. And this is, where the planets are the most comfortable. Okay. And so 2019, Jupiter comes back home to Sagittarius. Part of the theme for the year for you, or one of the, messages the spirit brings up here as being very important, is you coming home to yourself as well. Right? Let's take a look at this baobab tree. It did come up in verse. It's so beautiful, right, set up. I just like it, looking at it that way, but I have to remember it did come up reverse. Baobab. Key phrase here is survival. It says, there is no need to feel lost and alone or to believe that every day is a battle for survival. Don't make life harder for yourself by dwelling on things that are negative or which depress you. Stay focused and optimistic. Okay, so there seems to be certain worry or concern that you may be battling with here about being good enough, right? You being good enough. You being good enough as you are. You being good enough in the present. Self-acceptance, self-love. And that's kind of the thing here is Scorpio, going back into 2018, because we've all, we've sort of had to adapt to this scorpionic energy to survive within it, I think. A lot of us. Maybe not for you. Maybe you were able to just rise above it or something. But I think a lot of us sort of started taking on some of this stuff and had to adapt. And one of the things about Scorpio and the scorpionic energy that can be kind of, weighty, is it looks at the shadow side of things. It looks at the demons in our lives. It is the sign of the underworld. In that respect, it's like Capricorn. It's not effing playing around. It's very serious. It's like, I'm not screwing around. You're in the underworld. What are you doing here? Right? So I said this in a lot of the videos. With 2018, I kind of experienced, looking at it in retrospect, it was kind of like, usually we keep certain things in our subconscious and repressed or suppressed and out of our awareness, and we don't really pay them much attention or look at them. It's sort of like we have these demons amongst us, right? And our demons are like self-doubt, fear, to name just a couple. There are others, but there's these demons around us, but we never really pay much attention to them. There's curtains, they hide behind the curtains. And when Jupiter is in Scorpio and we had this heavy, extended stays, very large dosage of scorpionic energy within that year, it was like, okay, time to pull the friggin' curtains back. Let's remove all of these curtains. Let's mingle with the demons. We're gonna accept this reality of the underworld of there are demons amongst us here. Right? And so there's this energy of well, how are we going to interact with them? Are we observing the demons? Are we running from the demons? Are we fighting the demons? Or are we listening to the demons scream out in agonizing pain and just trying to be patient and wait till the energy moves? What's going on, right? And so one of the things in the demons and realities here is being in scarcity consciousness and having, lack and scarcity and being in survival mode. The other thing with Scorpio is it is co-ruled by Mars, the planet of war and aggression, also passion and sex and libido. Everything's got its duality with astrology. But it is the planet of war. And so Scorpio sometimes has a tendency, in that 8th house energy, has a tendency to be like, my battlefield, like everything, it's a battlefield, right? And so there's struggle and like survival involved here. But we're in 2019. We're looking at the cards for 2019 now. And so part of it for all of us, I feel, even you Sagittarius, who are deeply, spiritual, independent sign, not afraid to break away and go off and seek higher truths. There's this energy of demons still clinging to you. Like, there's this energy in 2019 of taking these things off of you and flinging them out of your aura and your energy, and realizing that that was a part of 2018. Like, that's the past. You're done with it. Right? Because sometimes we get hurt over and over again. We get hurt so many times it sort of breaks our spirit. It sort of makes us lose faith and want to stop trying, and we just sort of accept that that's the way it is. And so that can happen with survival and being stuck in a mode of like scarcity consciousness, survival. Our subconsciousness is trying to protect us from pain, from starting to climb that ladder and get knocked off it, of having success and then losing it. If you stay down, you don't deal with that. You can't fall out of the building. And you do have the 2nd house being highlighted here as well. And the 2nd house is about being self-sufficient, self-reliant. It's about what you have. It's about resources and money. So it says there's no need to feel lost and alone, or to believe that every day is a battle for survival. Don't make life harder for yourself by dwelling on things that are negative or which depress you. Stay focused and optimistic. Taurus is also the sign of jobs and work. And I definitely see an energy here for you about, your 2nd house and being able to create improvements and progress and come out of survival mode in 2019 for those of you who feel in survival mode. In relation to your value, your values, your resources, your quality of life, your work, all of these things, your finances. And it comes from moving in harmony with the divine. It comes from lightening up and taking off some of the baggage. It comes from being receptive and your spirituality and connecting within. And it comes from self-love. Okay. It comes from happiness. So it is. The other thing with 2018 and 2019 is most of 2018 we had Neptune retrograding. And it just went stationary, direct, towards the end of the year in 2018. And, in 2019 it will be direct for the year. And Neptune is about our imaginations, our creativity, our dreams, our fantasies, our ability to visualize. It's also about our fears, our illusions, misunderstandings, confusion, and mental fog. Okay, and so there's a little bit of an adjustment period there, but I do think things are getting better. And so, like, when you are able to tune in to your higher self, third eye, crown chakra energy, or your higher self, your higher spiritual truths, when you're able to be receptive and listen to others, to earth, to yourself, and really hear and follow your bliss, follow what makes you happy, you're able to transform these darker underworld energies. Okay, Sag? Let's take a look at the month of January for you guys. Gonna just put my cards back in their decks here and do a quick reshuffling. Get the goddesses involved. So the thing about time is that it is really more fluid than it is linear. And so I'm going to do 4 weeks. I'm going to say it's 4 weeks. I'm going to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. But the thing to understand here is there's apt to be some variation and flow within this. Your first week maybe 3 days. Your second week maybe, 9. So there can be a little bit of that going on, and there can also be an overflow, all right? So it's not black and white. That's nice. You have a nice colorful palette here coming up. And then we'll get the one theme card. Message for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Risings, 2019, month of January. What would you like to highlight? Spirit guides for Sag and higher self, spirit, Sagittarius. Black, find richness from the dark night. Oh yeah, that sums up what we're talking about. That dark night stuff. Grief, sorrow, heavy emotions, weighty stuff. As soon as it happens, it's in the past, for one thing. And it can be released. Though I totally understand why, we're not always ready to automatically, forgive, release, and transmute these things. But this is about finding the richness and the silver lining in situations and focusing your energy there and taking back your power through doing so. It's something I sometimes have a lot of trouble with because I have a lot of personal planets in Scorpio. And to me, it's sort of like that darker underworld energy is like native energy. And so when I'm being asked to do that, I'm kind of like, screw you. Why do you have to be like, oh, the light side, the optimism, focus, the silver lining is always like what liberates me from the darkness. Like, I'm just gonna stay down here. You knocked me down here. You must have had a friggin' purpose, right? Like, I'm just gonna stay here in my anger and my grief and my whatever. Like, it's the truth. That's the thing about Scorpio. Scorpio is like the deeper truth. But ultimately we are in a universe where the only constant really is change. Like, cells in my body are changing and regenerating as we speak, though you can't see it, right? Everything's in motion constantly. So it's not like a solid thing. Anyway, that's personal. I hope it didn't get you too distracted and off track with your reading. I'm going to shuffle out these goddess cards and lay them out with the zodiac cards for you. First week, second week, third week, and fourth week. Okay. And then the zodiac deck. Try to make sure I have all of my cards here. Put back in the deck. Okay. Two. All right, Sag. Let's see what we have for you. In the first week, we have Lemon, access innovative thinking. We have Be Strong from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. It says, you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. And you have from the zodiac deck fire, the element of fire, and you have Cancer, the 4th house, Cancer. So what I'm seeing here is some of you might have some caution, some nervousness, some anxiety, some caution about moving forward, about some sort of actions that you feel you need to take or something going on. Maybe you're trying to transform some behaviors. It is New Year's, right? First week of January. Maybe you're trying to transform some behaviors, bring some stuff in, more exercise, possibly with fire, or something that has to do with your passion. Something that's very central to who you are is also possible here with this 4th house energy. Cancer is also the sign of womanhood. It's the sign of mother. So it could be speaking about your mother, or if you are a mother, your role as mother. It could be it's maternal lineage, so it could be your grandmother as well, and so forth. It's also a sign of home and hearth and comfort and safe space, safe haven, as well as caution. And, there may be a message here for some of you to use a little bit of caution and approach things a little bit slowly, sort of integrate the past. Cancer has to do with nostalgia and the past. Integrate the past, do that past, start that emotional integration and mental integration that we were talking about, that we've been talking about so much. That was a part of 2018's theme, and that's a part of your mission with 2019. Starting it right off the bat with the beginning of the year, kicking the year off on the right foot. You have innovative thinking here, suggesting you think outside of the box, think creatively, think freshness, lemon, freshness, cleansing, newness, bringing that like eccentric, fresh perspective into the mix. Innovative thinking. For those of you who are having issues come up, complications with your mom or your grandmother or something like that, maybe there's like a nursing home situation, a health issue, or fighting between the two of you, or any number of different situations, it may need a creative approach. Okay, it might need you to do some creative thinking outside of the box in order to heal it, regardless of what's going on here. And also, there could be like actions for some of you that need to be taken, or that you want to take in regards to your home environment, and making it feel more comfortable and more supportive for you for this year, whether that means cleaning it, whether it means feng shuiing it, whether it means moving home, whether it means people moving out, whether it means doing renovations. Could mean any number of things here. It does suggest some sort of action maybe being taken in relation to your home. Could even be conversations, okay, within the home. It says you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So this message is for all of you, right? There's an element here of I think for some of you, getting some confidence back, right? And being strong, yes, being strong. For those of you who have New Year's resolutions, like, you can do it. I don't care what happens in this first week. I mean, I care, but I don't care. Even if you think that you fail miserably, like your resolution is to quit smoking, and you wind up smoking more in the first week of January than you think you did in all of 2018. It does not matter. There is an energy here of mind over matter, and being strong enough to see the shadow side here of this Cancerian energy, this water element energy, this emotional energy, these fears, these doubts, you know, anxiety, for what they are. All right, they're not things that you have to let control you, right? You can get through whatever's going on. You definitely have energies here that support you being strong enough to persist with any New Year's resolutions or goals. But there is a certain element here of starting to fear and illusion with Cancer sometimes, and kind of hide away and stop taking action and moving forward. Because we start, what was I saying? There's an energy here of like coming inward, and internal, and being in a place where you're safe and protected and it's comfortable. It might be a little uncomfortable as well, but it's like that, wanting to stay in the familiar, even if it is uncomfortable, rather than go into new territory. That can manifest with Cancer. It's the shadow side of Cancer. Come here, you can be up here. I mean, sometimes we have reasons to be cautious, right? And not just jump headfirst into something. And this time and caution is very useful and beneficial for us. But there's a need to, like, be strong and not let your emotions spiral negatively and control you in order to make the most out of this first week. Okay, so let's take a look at the second week. Second week, you guys have green, revitalize your nervous system. That's so interesting because we had that Cancer energy, so that's coming forward. In the second week of January, it looks like some sort of action and healing is starting to occur. It might be that in the first week of January, you just need to acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge that you might not be completely ready for certain things, to take certain steps, to move forward in certain ways. And that's okay. It's okay to pace yourself and observe your surroundings. In the second week, you're doing something, I think, to heal and revitalize your nervous system, to ground any nervous energy or excess anxiety. You have the arts, express yourself through creative activities. That is a great outlet and tool, dealing with the past, dealing with the present, dealing with the future, expressing through art. And it's also a way to work with Chiron and Neptunian energy in a positive way. Our illusions and our need to create fantasy and our imagination in a positive way, give it a positive outlet, rather than allowing it to just, be tricking you and deceiving you. And then we have Mercury and Jupiter reversed. So there's a blockage here in your own energy, a blockage related to expansion, a blockage related to perhaps prosperity or receiving your full blessings, abundance, good luck that the universe wants to deliver to you. There's some sort of blockage here and resistance for some reason. But I think what's going on is in the second week, you're removing that blockage or correcting that imbalance through the things I just mentioned here with that card of the arts and the green card. And you also have Mercury here, so it can be, communication, thinking. Mercury is thinking, Mercury is communication. Mercury is also travel. So expressing yourself and communicating through art, through writing, through whatever means, maybe kind of a theme or highlighted a part of this second week in January. There may also be some travel for you going on. You may need to or decide to take a little trip for some reason, or even locally, just doing a little more traveling in a car, on a bike, and a plane, on your feet. It does not say with this general read, but it looks good. Let's take a look at the third week. The third week, you have lavender, connect to body, mind, and soul. You have air reversed. You have Sagittarius, and you have sensitivity, white Terra. You're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Okay. So some of you may, in the third week, be wanting to escape some sort of situation. You may be having a hard time communicating with somebody, or in general, some sort of, sorry about that, some sort of blockage with the element air, which could be travel. Maybe you're trying to travel, blockage or obstacles or imbalance around that. But it's also, thinking and communication with ourselves, with spirit, with other people, with animals, with everything, communication in general. And there's some sort of blockage here. You're also extra sensitive, and we have lavender, connect to body, mind, and soul. So when I see this card, White Terra, come up, sometimes it indicates people coming down with colds or some sort of illness because their body is purging toxins. And in that phase of a healing cycle, where the body comes to a point where it needs to purge these toxins through a sickness, what we call sickness, instead of, just its normal sweat and toilet and so forth. This can occur, and it's a time to, either way, whether you feel like you're starting to get sick and you want to boost your immune system to fight it off, you wind up getting sick in this third week of January, or this is a warning to take care of yourself so you don't get sick, what have you, for whatever reason that you're more sensitive, and whatever the specifics that you feel it in the most are. Some of you might feel it most in your relationship or your romantic partnership. Some of you might feel it most in relation to certain chemicals. Again, some of you might be ill, or environments. This lavender card comes in here as like healing energy. It's saying connect with your body, mind, and soul. Do not try to run out of your body. Do not try to run away from your mind. This is about healing, relaxing, and accepting yourself and spending time with yourself. This can also be an energy that, something that happens when we get really busy and life gets really hectic, and we aren't having as much time to rest, to enjoy life, to de-stress. Sometimes we get what's called a healing crisis that manifests as sickness, or, our senses get heightened, and there's this guidance to embrace this lovely, lavender energy of sensuality and awareness, mindfulness with the self. And we have your card here, signifying you, Sagittarius. It's a week where I think it's good to pay attention to you, and you're doing that. You're taking some time to pay attention to you. Some of you might be healing this blockage with the element of air in or around this third week, and some of you might be doing it through going on a journey. Right? That is a very Sagittarian thing. Getting away from these environments that are currently, at the moment, toxic for you, and just getting some space from them, and being able to reconnect with your authentic energy, right? Without the distraction of these other things. Being able to get some air, literally. Some of you might choose to do your healing work through and unblocking this or rebalancing this air element within your life through writing, through journaling, through expression. In that way, through bringing into your awareness and acknowledging rather than suppressing or repressing your own needs the needs of your body, the needs of your mind, your soul, your own inner whispers and inner truths. Okay. And for some of you might have some things that you need to get off your chest, that you need to say to other people. But the thing is like, there's not a yes, have the conversation right now, or no, don't have the conversation right now within the cards. What it does say is, it says, trust yourself, do what's best for you, and you don't need to keep going back into toxic situations. Okay. All right, fourth and final week of January 2019 for my Sagittarius. Gold, attract abundance. Gorgeous. Yeah, I really feel like the third week of January is like, you start giving yourself the liberation that you need in a very radical way that really gets things moving. We have blossoming occur. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. Again, I don't care how many times you failed on your New Year's resolutions. I don't care how far it looks like you're away from your goals, or if you're not where you think you're supposed to be, or whatever. There is an element here of divine timing. There is a tendency for people in general to be a little bit too hard on themselves. Some people to be too hard on themselves in January and to expect too much, right? And it's not actually what's in alignment with the highest selves and the source. So there's some, moon, there's some emotional potential shadow work, there's some emotional integration going on in this fourth week of January for you. There's some they want you to realize, spirit guides want you to realize, you are, even though you haven't seen all of the results that you'd like to see yet, or maybe you have, and yet it didn't make you feel the way that you thought it was going to feel with the moon coming up here. You are in the process of attracting abundance, and it's something that you can continue to do and stay on track with. But you have to, you have to have compassion with yourself, and compassion all the way around, and patience, with the situation. It's a brand new year. It's the first month of the first year. You have to have this balance of compassion and acceptance and patience and persistence. Okay, persistence. You have Libra coming up reverse, so that blockage with the element of air is continuing on here. So it's not, it's something that's kind of the second half of January. You have this blockage related to air that you're working through, blockage or imbalance, I should say. And so this is the 7th house energies. This is having to do, in this last part of January, it's having to do with your one-on-one relationships with people, partnerships. This can be representative of a marriage or a business partner with Libra. It also has to do with issues of fairness and justice, okay, and balance, having a balance of speaking and expressing and listening, right? Many different balances here. So there's some sort of, as we get into the fourth week, there's some sort of imbalance, some sort of disharmony in your life, some sort of blockage or imbalance within partnerships or relationships possible. This can also have to do with the law and court systems and legalities. So there might be some sort of injustice, whether it's directly through court, it's something that you take to court or not. There's some sort of injustice going on, and whether it's, first party affecting you, or it's affecting somebody you care about, or something that you're looking at, or some sort of cause that you want to get involved with, is going to vary probably for person to person. It's general reading and I can't tell, but you can, now that that's brought to light, you can start working on healing that blockage or imbalance. And I feel like a part of that, largely is again with your attitude, your positive attitude, your